Tom, feel free to kick us off here and we'll jump in and see where it goes.
Really?
Yeah,
All the
yeah,
pressure on me. All right.
no pressure.
All right. Well, welcome everyone. It's great to have you in the call. When I was helping coach our top Cairo group with the foundation of my adjusting, which is coming from MLS. And so people were getting interested, like, okay, well, what is this MLS thing? How's it work? And they could see from the way I was adjusting, it was very respectful with the body and also easy, like from a state of ease, like there's no forcing. Uh, and so there was this interest. So I was like, okay, let's put together a seminar. We'll do it in Eindhoven at the school there. And we got things moving. And so now we have the seminar on it's the 16th to the 18th. That's the Friday to the Sunday. We start on the Saturday, but we have a philosophy call on the Friday, right? So we'll be doing that, and then starting on the Saturday all the way through to the Sunday. And like many of you, you're probably students here as well. Did my first MLS seminar with Dr. Arno Bernier, rest in peace, and that was within the first 3 months of starting chiropractic school. And I had not even really started technique class, right? Already yet, sorry. But straight away within those first days, I was already applying what they taught me to be able to actually start adjusting people. Now, obviously, as you go through school, you start learning more and more and more. But MLS has been the foundation for my adjusting skills since the very beginning, and it's what gave me such a solid foundation so that even if I am applying other techniques, the foundational concepts that are from MLS, and I apply those to every single technique that I am doing. You know, whether that's with the setup, finding peace within their system, the way that we're adjusting, the removing all the variables from the mind so that you have a clear intention with your adjusting, and applying all the things, understanding, looking at each person on the table, how each person is different, how their body may be working, how it's moving, how I may need to adjust what I'm doing for that specific person. And once you do MLS a lot, you start being able to do that just like automatic. And it really helps making when you're in practice. So I'm adjusting right now between 150, 170 a week. With that, it's from a state of ease. There's no stress. I'm not forcing anyone. It's easier on my body. It's easier on their body. People get great results. Um, and it just helps the flow of everything that you're doing be in a much more relaxing, peaceful way, and makes practice more enjoyable because everything is just from ease and flow, and it's much more fun. So if that's something that you're looking for, MLS is definitely the way to go. And as I said, everything you learn, you can apply to the other techniques that you do. So now is Dr. Wade Port.
Awesome, Tom, and welcome everybody. Thanks for being on, and I hope to see all of you coming up very soon as I make my way over there. And I first met Tom in, I believe, 2019 when I came to Barcelona we taught MLS level one and then a level two a week later. And Tom really, Arno had told me about him staffing, and then I got to really see not just his heart, but his hands and his skill sets and his ability to really coach in a real clear and clean way. And we became fast friends from there. So I'm just thrilled to be back out there with my Tome boy and and do this with you guys. Um, we're going to do our best to get over there more often, bring more of the programs. We're just launching a pediatric program and prenatal program here in the States that is all around MLS principles and methodologies, which is just a huge passion of Arno Bernier's. And I don't, if you guys have questions about me, my background, and why people would want to come train with me, please ask questions. I don't necessarily want to go through my CV or my resume right now, but I've been training with MLS for 25 years now and have been on staff for most of those and have just devoted my life to it, and I love it. And we'll be focused very focused on making sure that everybody walks away from there, not just full of inspired passion, but with applicable things that are going to make people's eyeballs do this on the table the moment you step back in and put your hands on them. And that's what we're looking to deliver around the world. And when we go to events, conferences, we will often find ourselves, and I'm speaking for me and the MLS team here in the States, and we are not collectively, there are some super nerds in our camp, but when it comes to dissecting the normal complete cycle and getting into the neurophysiology down to the every tract and every which way that the neurophysiology works, we spend less time on that and more time on who you be, your presence, and who you're bringing to the table, your level of connection. And then to be able to use the analysis that you resonate with the most. It's fairly inconsequential. But every technique, or sorry, every system, and I'm reframing that on purpose, maybe we can talk more about. Every system eventually, what we say, the rubber will hit the road at some point, and you will make a force application into the neurospinal system at some point, whether that is a light touch in the realm of BGI network or a high velocity input into the system. And when that application piece comes in, what we're really, really great at is helping to take you and observe, see, feel the process that happens within you, not only to see the blind spots that are showing up that are maybe keeping you, holding you back, but then some real, what I consider easy stuff, footwork, what dot on the hand we're choosing to use, what dot on the spine we're choosing to use. And Micah already mentioned the line of drive. One of the first things I remember hearing at my first MLS program 25 years ago was Arno saying, in a way, he said, oh, by the way, there's no such thing as a line of drive. And we said, what? He said, yeah, it's all arcs. It's all arcs. There's no straight line in any of this. And so that was a first little aha to where I'm not making the institutional programs and some of the brilliant technique teachers and the institutions wrong, but the roadmap and guidelines that they have been given to use in order to fulfill the accrediting institutional guidelines is faulty. It's faulty from the get-go. And so it is what it is, that system. But when a student does not develop a parallel curriculum for themselves and is just relegated to what they learn as per what the curriculum tells them to do in an institution, we have found it often falls short. And so I can't speak as much to the European schools, but in the States, we have the accreditation agencies, which have it it's just the worst version of chiropractic is what has to be taught in school. And that creates a very big problem for not only the public for receiving that, but for the chiropractors who end up being not only confused on what chiropractic is in the first place, but then getting burnt out, resigned, cynical, bitter in practice because they were told that chiropractic was practiced like this when there's a whole nother way that they may or may not have been exposed to. So when we travel and go to these conferences, I see and I observe and I witness. I mean, these are conferences where the best chiropractors in the world are gathering, the biggest practices, the most influential, the biggest leaders. And time after time, when they want to get checked, they come find an MLS chiropractor. Time and time again. And they typically don't go to find the ones who are claiming to be the best technicians that can, do the or explain the technical or go into the neurophysiology of every little how and why. But they find an MLS chiropractor. So I just think that speaks volumes to why the value is there to come engage in this training. And when we adjust people with this methodology for the first time, their eyes typically pop open, a huge smile comes on their face. And over from people who have been adjusted for 20, 30, 40 years by some of the most well-known chiropractors on the planet, they said, I have never experienced anything like that. And we hear it over and over. And we have the pathway broken down into very clear steps on how to develop that methodology in you. So that's what we'll be doing. Sound fun?
Terrific.
Excellent. And you've done 2 MLS seminars in Paris now, and you're coming to your 3rd in Holland, and probably have your radar up for the level 2, which we go deep into upper cervical, toggle recoil, occiput lift, Atlas in a lot of different variations, and a lot of specialty moves that if you've been in practice for any period of time, are very valuable to where people come in all states of being, all conditions, into your office. But I would love to hear from you guys a little bit. If you're in practice, what came up for you when Tom and I were speaking just now, or if you're in school, thoughts, questions, comments, concerns, open forum. Don't be shy. There's no silly questions, however grand or basic it seems. Who wants to ask something?
I
I have
can.
some.
You
Go
go
ahead,
first.
yeah. Go first. No, go ahead.
Okay. So I'm in school and I'm in practice. The rules are a little bit different in Germany. So I'm working with the rules this time. And we're using mainly diversified technique. When I feel with the cervicals, I feel like I just don't really find that way the correct line of drive or really that opening. And I'm just thinking, how do you implement MLS in that technique?
Yes. From the outside looking in, Micah, most people would perceive MLS being a full spine diversified application, because it from the outside looking in looks similar. But from what Tom was talking about is a fundamental difference is, let's take side posture. Side posture, they're typically pushing the shoulder this way and pulling the lumbar or pelvis this way to create torque and tension in the spine, and hoping for some kind of pop in the spine, and they call it good. Where in MLS, instead of taking the 2 pieces this way, which if the spinal cord is in the middle, we know it's getting wrung out like a towel. So we're going from the premise, has it ever made sense to anybody if part of the fundamental outcomes is to actually, for the most part, there's situations where it might be different, to actually have somebody resolve tension patterns in their neurospinal system to first bring it to more tension. Did that ever feel weird to anybody else? Right? It did to me. And hey, Dylan. And so what we are always looking to do is have a global awareness from the head to the toe. Is the neurospinal system at physiological peace and ease?
Mhm.
Now, again, we've been led to believe that you have to take it to tension to get, right? To get it to cavitate or release. We are so bored at a cavitation being an outcome that is like to be celebrated as achieved because in essence, like who cares, right? If something doesn't change for a positive way in their neurophysiology and then their life, but something cavitated, because I'll put it this way. If anybody's ever watched MMA fighting, or jujitsu or anything like that, you can get put in a neck crank or a rear naked choke and someone squeeze, and there's something that might cavitate in the neck. Now, I'll ask you this: did that lead to more physiological integrity and neurospinal integrity in that human being? And the answer is most likely absolutely not. And so, if a cavitation is our end goal, then we're missing the mark by a ton. And so what you get to experience, and I trust that Tom adjusted you, like you said, to feel what it's like to actually have your head simply float.
Yeah.
Raise your hand if you have not seen or played the game Jenga. Okay. Nod your head so I can see, but it's the wood blocks that are stacked. Do you guys know this game? Okay, I'm seeing nods. So I'm going to start bringing a Jenga piece to my seminars, at least in the States. You guys, if one of y'all are coming and you have one, please bring it to seminar, because that's very similar to how to access the neurospinal system. And in Jenga, if you go in like a bulldozer, the sucker's going over. You have to be so precise and fast and specific with many pieces, just like that, for this piece to shoot out the other side. You guys follow me? I just need head nods, so I know you are. That is how you can access the neurospinal system with the MLS methodology, because you float the spinal cord, the meninges, the spine, where you get all the muscles around attaching to the spine to melt. And then when you have clear visualization, so we will work with our spines to get the picture clear in your head of the arcs. And it's not just one for each segment. It is multiple, depending on how the distortion happens for that person in that time. And then very soft, mushy gushy, you can just really start to flick the spine around with your fingertips. Because when we bring it to tension, we're actually creating more resistance in the system. When we have more resistance in the system, we have to use more what to overcome it? Anyone? We have to use more what?
Force.
We have to use more force to overcome the resistance. There was already resistance there, but we created more by bringing it to tension. Now I have to use more force. And now here we have a lot of things going wrong, but we also have a hurt chiropractor, because now they're putting a force into a non-fluid system, and that force is going to rebound back into your body, your wrist, your shoulder, your own spine. You guys follow it? Your heart. And that over time is very destructive to the chiropractor, let alone the person you are serving. That was a very long answer to your question, Micah. Were there any?
Sorry, thank you.
All right. Yeah, I'm passionate about this. I can't even demonstrate how to take somebody to tension. Like, I'm incapable of doing that to someone's spine. It like hurts my soul. So even to demonstrate it, I can't even demonstrate it. But you don't know what you don't know. And so if what you were shown was bring it to tension, then that's what you think is what has to be done. And what we see a lot of times is when we demonstrate and or serve somebody, it's just not the eyeballs, and I really mean that. Sometimes it's the jaw opening, because their brain is hard to compute, like what they just observed, like what just happened, how did you even do that? But then once we break down the steps, we can easily see, oh, that's how we got there. Mateo, what you got?
Yeah, you mentioned in the beginning system and techniques. I'm a bit
Yes.
confused. Can you explain the difference between the two?
Okay. So this is new on how I'm distinguishing that, because Travis with Top Cairo uh, said when we were talking preliminarily about bringing us out there, he was talking, well, I'm wanting my docs to get better, more pro level technique. The system we use is Thompson protocol and analysis. And he helped reframe that for me because normally we think technique, Thompson technique, Gonstead technique, diversified technique, and on and on. And I really liked it because that is a system of analysis and a protocol like a flow chart on how to navigate the when and where. And what I will be doing with you is really dialing in your technique and in the way that if this is basketball, if this is volleyball, you name it, you are going to work on technique. So how you serve the ball, how you strike a soccer ball like this to make it go straight for a pass versus to make it curve to go around some defenders has to do with your footwork and the technique of how you strike the ball. So I just like that differentiation, Mateo, that we will be doing technique in the way of how you hold the head and how you actually compress the spine, how you fire for a force application into the spine. So that was, I'm not saying it's not a technique, it is, but we will be working on technique, though not the system of the protocol of necessarily when and where. We will get to a lot of the where and a lot of the when, but not in a classic traditional flowchart technique like Thompson. I hope that makes sense.
Yes, thank you.
Mm-hmm. What else is coming up for you guys?
Wait, so are we gonna also have a philosophy jam on Friday? Is it gonna be live on set? Is it gonna be recorded? It's gonna be Zoom?
Yeah, so Tom and I will talk about that just to make sure. I think the original plan was to have a live together on campus, but to accommodate some of the chiropractors who are working Saturday morning, we're not starting Saturday until 2 p.m. So Saturday, the seminar starts at 2 p.m. And I'll confirm that. We'll see who's registered and see if that's still necessary. I'm open to switching and changing that. I don't know if that's a good idea since a lot of people have probably already made their travel arrangements, but it looks like that just surprised you when I said that.
But what does that mean? That then when is it gonna end? We're gonna go late night or
Saturday will go pretty late, and Sunday I believe we close at 5 p.m.
okay, good,
Okay.
good.
So the original plan was to have it live Friday night, but if Tom and I are still in his part of the world, I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's going to be live, but stay tuned. We'll let everybody know.
Got it.
Okay. Because you're coming from Madrid.
I'm coming from Switzerland actually.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was flying on Friday because of that, so I really hope it's gonna take place.
Okay. Yeah. That was the original plan.
Yeah.
Tom and I will circle back on that.
Got it.
Dylan, what you got?
Oh, not too much. Just hopping off the train after serving the people of the Netherlands all day.
Let's see that
Um,
Let's see that hoodie you got on. What's going on there?
oh, I didn't even mean to wear it. Just happened upon coincidence.
Mastery Love Service. Come on.
Fantastic. I'm very excited to jump back in and kind of re-immerse myself with the technical aspect, but also more of the getting back in of staying out of my head. I feel like this has been a big thing for me recently.
Okay.
Yeah, just amongst clients and, you know, so many people to see and think about and explain different things and talk about that. Yeah, I find myself just getting a bit too sucked in. So I'm excited to jump back in and yeah, revisit the MLS approach and all the methods and clearing out the head before you get in there and surf.
Yeah, and I haven't trained with you, I don't think, since you graduated and got into practice. And since we're having a vulnerable moment here, and you're getting clear with it, what are some of the trappings that you find yourself getting sucked into in practice? Some that you knew were coming and some that may have surprised you.
Cool. So the responsibility of, you know, taking on the care of some other person is something that I knew was coming.
Okay.
But I didn't realize how much it would weigh on me.
Okay.
And maybe it's just my own personal stuff to deal with, and past experiences that make it do weigh so much. But sometimes, if somebody comes in with a serious case, or you can really tell that it's affecting their, you know, their life, their livelihood, and having that deep effect on them, I also feel the effect. So I guess more of setting boundaries as well, with myself and with clients. So I did expect the responsibility of that,
Yep.
but maybe not to the extent that it has been happening.
Yep.
So kind of holding myself at a distance, but also, you know, embracing the people for where they are and what they're going through has been a bit of a challenge for myself.
Got it. Is everybody tracking what Dylan's talking about? Head nods there. Absolutely. And so there's no question this man has a heart of gold and deep caring. And we don't ever want to have that go down. And I heard what he said, keep myself at a distance. That raised a little flag for me. He's going to have to do what he has to do. I love unpacking this stuff, by the way. Anything
Oh, no,
that's
you do.
right. And so like, let's go, because what this is showing up for Dylan is what I call a loss of power. All right. And the world cannot afford for Dylan to have a loss of power. I can't. Right. And on that note, they're all serious cases. They're all serious cases. It's life or death for all of them. We have no idea, because easily the person that's rolled in a wheelchair with ankylosing spondylitis and they're fused from head to toe, could be living their best life, while the 13-year-old athlete who has pretty clear scans could be considering harming themselves. You guys follow? Yep. We just don't know. And so it's all serious. It's all life or death, and we want to act accordingly. And Dylan already knows what's going on is he finds himself caring more for their care and their life than they do. And that's weighing on him. And that is something that he's going to have to reconcile. He's already aware of it. So he's pretty close to it. And he's 100% right. That's going to come down to boundaries and agreements. And then he can actually agree to not care for them. That this is how I am going to choose to show up for you. And here's the agreement, meaning you'll have to show up for yourself in a big way in order to get to receive my care. And if you're not willing to care as much about yourself as I am for you, then this might not be a good fit for you. I know that's new for some people, right? For a lot of people, but it's a real thing. And there's a lot of pretty simple things in the way we can set up our practices that help that be easier. And a lot of practices think they have a wellness practice and a vitalistic practice, if I looked at their office paperwork and the posters on the wall and their website, in a second, it can be so clear that the message that they're projecting to their community is we're a pain relief clinic and we will therapy you into a relief of pain situation. Come into our office for chiropractic wellness for life. And then what they have maybe unconsciously agreed to is to become a really a allopathic therapist for the person. There's a time and a place for emergency pain relief and the stuff, but a lot of people don't really realize that they're getting burnt out and disheartened because they've set up the agreement that they're going to fix people, and then they get upset when people expect them to fix them. You guys with me? Yeah. Thank you, Dylan.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And like you said, the it is a feeling of loss of power, especially like exactly how you described when someone comes in who doesn't really, they say they care and want to get better and better themselves, and they show up and take the first step, but they're not in it. So you're spending all your energy and mental energy trying to give them the top quality care that you decide or that you can. But then they're just not there to accept it. So it is quite draining. So everybody in school, keep that in mind. Not everybody is going to care about themselves as much as you care about them.
And let's just go say it, most will not.
Yeah, some
Most
people
will
enjoy
not.
being subluxated.
Yeah, that's their safety. There's a whole trauma conversation in that. What else is up for you guys? What are some of the challenges you're finding in school, in practice?
Wait, sorry, I have to leave you. So it was very nice to meet you, and I look forward to meet you in 2 weeks, Thomas, as well. So nice to meet you as well, and see you very soon. Thank you so much for this introduction.
Safe travels. We'll see you soon.
Ciao, ciao.
All right. Who's in school?
I have some questions actually.
Yeah. Okay. So Christine, you're in school?
I'm in school.
Mike, okay. Beautiful. All in Eindhoven or in other places? No. Yes. Christine, yes. Matteo, where are you in school?
I'm in Toulouse, France.
Toulouse. Wonderful. Have you taken MLS before?
Yes,
You
it would be
have.
actually my third one in Eindhoven.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. I was hoping to be Sigma
Yeah.
asked me to come speak in September. I believe it's the same weekend as Mile High Conference in the States. So I was sad not to be able to come. But I will pour into you and you can take back to Toulouse.
Yeah, absolutely. My question is actually because of the school is really like anti-subluxation, pro medical stuff, everything.
Sure.
It's really hard to get people to connect to real chiropractic, like principle-based chiropractic. What would you say is the main issue, and what could I do to help people have an easier access to this?
Yeah. That's a decades long challenge. And let me ask you, just pick an administrator that seems to be the most outspoken about principled chiropractic. Let me ask you this. What do they stand for? What do they want? I know what they don't want. They don't want Dr. Matteo going around saying, I am a neurospinal expert and I help clear human beings with subluxations. They don't want that. We're clear about that. What do they want? What do they want Dr. Matteo out there being, doing, and having?
Actually, I don't think they want anything, like they just want money.
Got it. Got it. So, that's a simple question. Do you want money or do you want happiness? Do you want fulfillment in your life? Right? That's a simple question. And they get to answer that. And it's okay if some of them say, I want the money. Great. There's plenty of it all over the place. And then you could ask, what if you could have both? What if you could have both? So in the States, there's private insurance. I'm not exactly sure how it works in Europe, but one of the big things in the States is that people do whatever they can to take people's insurance so that people from the public can come in, hand them their insurance card, and they will just bill for them. And the public does not have to even consider money. You guys following? And so once they make that agreement with the insurance company, the pathway of principled chiropractic is pretty much done at that point. I'm just pulling up a quote that I enjoyed the other day. Your purpose is not the thing you do, it's the thing that happens in others when you do what you do. I love that. Your purpose is not what you do, it's the thing that happens in others when you do what you do. That's where you'll find your purpose. So over here, in 21 years of practice, I've never been in an agreement with insurance companies. So every single person over my 21 years has had to pay cash out of their pocket for my care. And so what about the people who do that, who have amazing practices, generating awesome revenue and wealth and income, right? So they don't have to be mutually exclusive. Having money and being principled do not have to, they can coexist. You with me? Why wouldn't they? Right? Actually, people will pay a hell of a lot more for a true chiropractor than they will. Because listen, I tell people all the time that want to be fixed. I tell them that the drugstore's down the street is cheaper than I am and it's a lot faster. And they're like, oh, okay. No, I want your care. I'm ready. I'm ready. Matteo, we could unpack that. I think the need for acceptance, the need for approval and acceptance, that we have a bunch of wounded little kids running our profession that got roped into the conditioning that let's just do the back pain relief. Let's just do the treatment thing and let's just collect our checks and do what we can to get our beach house. And let's not rattle the cage too much. Let's not stand out too much. Let's just collect our check and go home and pretend to be chiropractors and play the treatment game. Because I don't want to risk losing approval from people because I'm wounded and I'm coming from my need for love and acceptance. You guys with me? Now that's a deeper level that most people aren't going to necessarily talk about, but is your core value integrity, authenticity, leadership? Or are you coming from what arose out of your wounds as a child, the need for approval? And I don't want to villainize the people in positions of influence and power in institutions, because I even look at people, medical doctors, especially even the ones who talk down about chiropractic or try to invalidate chiropractic. They were once little boys and girls just like we were. And for a lot of them, they were asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? And they say, I want to be a doctor. Why? Why do most people say they want to be a doctor? Christine? Why?
To help people.
To help people. That's what little boys and girls, when they say, I want to be a doctor, and you say, why? So I can help people. So understand those men and women who went into medical school, they showed up thinking that they were entering into an institution that was going to help them be able to help people. And because the system is created like it is, it's like the boiling frog. Slowly over time, they don't even realize it's happening, but they are being conditioned into being glorified drug dealers who are actually killing more people, at least in the States, than any other thing, than any other disease, any other malady, or anything else. And that's not what they intended to sign up for. But the institution of medicine itself was hijacked even before the institution and profession of chiropractic was hijacked. You guys follow? So it is what it is that when someone in the States tells me, a youngster, they're in high school, and they tell me, hey, I want to go to chiropractic school, or someone who's ready to go to college and they're looking around, and I will often tell them, and I hate being the messenger for this, but I let them know, hey, just by the way, you're not going to actually go to chiropractic school. You're going to go to medical school with a little side of chiropractic to learn how to be the best treatment doctor, diagnostician, and clinician. But you're not really going to learn chiropractic. And that's very sad, but it is what it is. And I'm not just going to say that because behind the scenes, I'm putting my time, energy, and money to get that system changed. And I know Travis is as well. Travis is highly involved in these efforts to make sure that we get the system changed. I'm not as familiar with how it is in Europe, but in the States, it's just all corrupt. And they're making sure that chiropractors don't have any idea what chiropractic is by the time they graduate. Just like medicine 200 years ago, 300 years ago was sacred art, was a sacred art of not just hands-on healing, but herbs and tinctures and rhythms of nature and all of this. And then it got corrupted and hijacked, just like chiropractic profession did. Anyway, little side note, Mateo.
On
Thank
that
you.
point as well, Matteo, I think if you are wanting to create change within a system, that all starts with you, right? So how can you become the most principled chiropractor? Are you studying the blue books, green books? Yeah, how are you educating your people that come to your practice? Because you will get medical doctors, you will get all these people coming in, and when you have a clear message, which chiropractic does have a clear message if you understand it, right? And you can share that message with them in a clear, concise, principled way, people just get it. It's logical deduction, right? And people will want it more, right? So the biggest thing is to figure out, okay, for you, how can you get that message clear in yourself so that you can give it to others in the best way possible? And then over time, that will inspire others, other chiropractors to do the same. And then maybe eventually, once we get enough of us doing the same thing in alignment, then we will see some bigger change.
Thank you. Was really cool to have this Twitter translation. Unfortunately, I have to go, but I hope I'll see you all at Eindhoven in 2 weeks. Have a
See
good
you,
night.
Mateo.
See you.
Christine, you've been quiet.
Yeah, hi. My name is Christian. I don't know if you can hear me
We can hear you.
nicely. That's nice. Anyway, yeah. So I'm quite keen to come to the seminar because Dylan has been talking a lot about it, and I'm also quite interested what I can pick up from the seminar to take with me and also give it back to the people in the future. As I'm now, I'm a student, but yeah, I think it's the best. Now is the best time to start with MLS. So when I graduate, I can also adjust people correctly and give the best care to the patients.
Yep. And I just realized that Valen Bosco is an instructor over there. And I know she's trained with me in the past. So she'll be able to speak to it. So for when I was taught how to adjust in school, because my life was altered when I was 17 years old and I knew I was a chiropractor. And it was such a beautiful art form that this girl was doing. She was actually a student at school who gave me my first chiropractic experience, and it changed my life. And so for you students in school, it's not one day, someday that you'll be able to change somebody's life with your touch. But she was studying her parallel curriculum with some of my teachers now, and changed my life. So now is the time. And then I got to school years and years later, and they showed me adjusting in class, and I freaked out. I said, "Oh my God, what is this? This can't be what I'm devoting my whole life to. Manipulating people's spines like this, bringing them to tension, wrenching their necks, and having somebody over my shoulder saying, 'Come on, push harder, put.'" It's like, whoa, something is wrong here. And I never questioned being a chiropractor, but I knew that this was not what I was devoting my life to. And then I met Arno, and he showed me how to apply with my hands what I knew in my heart to be possible and true. And I haven't looked back, and I stayed by his side until his last breath, literally. And so when it comes to the doctors with Top Chiro, who I know use the Thompson system mostly, when the Thompson protocol leads them to the where and when, we are going to train impeccably on when it is go time for that segment on that side in this manner. We're not only going to dial in the listing to a very fine degree, but the force application is going to be light years above the traditional or the conventional training that we're getting. So what does that do? Not only does it get greater results for the human being, it's comfortable, it's powerful, it's gentle and honoring, yet deep and powerful. It generates referrals. The retention starts to go through the roof. I get my emoji thumb. So referrals go through the roof. I'm just seeing if it'll do it for me. It won't. So for practice growth alone, Christian, this is worth, you'll get a millionfold back from this seminar just on how many referrals and how much retention you get from being able to deliver such a specific, precise, comfortable, and honoring and powerful adjustment, regardless of which system you use of analysis.
Good question. You're
Yeah.
planning to come back again, right? To the Netherlands, you said?
To the Netherlands, I mean,
Germany or Europe?
listen, it kind of works like this. You guys flash the bat signal and we'll come, right? Certainly, it's a lot of logistics to handle, so we need a decent crowd to make it happen. But I know currently I'm the only one teaching the advanced upper cervical in Europe, and I haven't been back there since like 2020 to do so, or 2021, I can't remember. So you're past due for getting me back there for an advanced care. So yes, we'll be back.
Okay. I'll follow the Instagram as well.
Or no, wait a minute. This is dependent on whether you come or not. Nope, we're never coming back. This is it, Micah. It's your only
To be
chance.
fair, I just heard about it today that there was a seminar. There was
Okay.
something missing that communication outside of Top Chiro.
Oh, shoot. Okay. Well, I will get on Travis about that. Yep. I'll say Micah has it out for you, Travis. You're on her list. Awesome.
He knows it's okay.
He knows. Well, if you guys don't have anything else, we'll jump off and stay tuned for what Friday night's going to be like at school. Christian, if you have any thoughts on if you have a group of students that you want to jump on a call with me between now and seminar time, feel free to just reach out. masteryloveservice@gmail. You can find the website easy at mlsseminars.com. And I can't wait to meet everybody and train in Micah one day. Sound
Thank you
good?
for your time.
All right.
Enjoy your evening.
Thank you very much. See you in 2 weeks.
Absolutely. Tom, thanks for hosting. And
Of course, man.
here we go. I fly to Scotland tomorrow.
Woo!
Yep. All right. Ciao.
Ciao, buddy.